In the pitch-black depths of a limestone cave tens of thousands of years ago, the flickering campfire cast misshapen shadows upon the rock walls. Amidst the howling wind from the primeval forest, a low, agonizing groan echoed from a prehistoric hunter. It was not a wound inflicted by the fangs of a saber-toothed cat, nor a broken bone from falling off a cliff. That pain rose from deep within, like a phantom seed silently devouring every marrow and muscle. The people of that era knew not what to call it. They only knew that an invisible demon was consuming their loved one from the inside out. Millions of years later, in modern laboratories equipped with 3D CT scanners and electron microscopes, paleopathologists unraveled the secrets buried deep within those cold, fossilized bones. They made a staggering discovery. The invisible monster our ancestors faced was cancer, a disease that modern humans for a long time mistakenly believed to be a byproduct of industrialization, pollution, and synthetic chemicals. Historical truth has proven the exact opposite. Cancer existed long before the first factories puffed smoke, even before humanity learned to farm or herd animals. When examining a 1.7-million-year-old fossilized foot bone of an ancient hominin from Swartkrans Cave in South Africa, scientists discovered a classic malignant bone tumor, the oldest evidence of osteosarcoma in hominins. Even further back, a benign tumor was found on the rib of a Neanderthal who lived 120,000 years ago in Croatia. These fossils speak across time, affirming a brutal reality. Cancer is a dark shadow walking hand in hand with human evolution, a biological glitch rooted ever since living cells began to divide. So, without sophisticated scalpels, chemotherapy, radiation, or an understanding of genetics, how did prehistoric humans face and endure this cruel shadow? To understand that battle, we must first step back in time and enter their world. Prehistoric humans lived in what seemed like a pristine environment, yet it harbored countless triggers for cellular mutation. True, they did not inhale vehicle exhaust or consume processed foods, but they lived in cramped caves, breathing in thick smoke from campfires that burned day and night. Natural wood smoke is laden with polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, extremely dangerous carcinogens that prehistoric people unknowingly inhaled daily, causing lung and nasopharyngeal cancers. They endured scorching ultraviolet rays from the sun while hunting in open fields, caught ancient viruses and bacteria, and came into contact with natural radioactive minerals beneath the earth. When a cell in a prehistoric human mutated and multiplied uncontrollably, destruction set in. Throbbing pain from within the bones, abnormal lumps swelling beneath the skin, rapid wasting, and non-healing ulcers. In the ruthless natural world, where survival of the fittest reigned supreme, any sign of weakness could mean a death sentence. Yet, archaeological evidence tells us a completely different story, a tale of compassion, resilience, and instinctive knowledge far exceeding expectations. Imagine a tribe of hunter-gatherers moving through dense jungles. When a member contracted bone cancer, a condition making every step an excruciating nightmare, the tribe did not abandon them. Evidence from ancient skeletons shows that many individuals with late-stage malignant tumors survived for months, sometimes years, after the disease had crippled them. What does this mean? It means their kin bore their burden of food, sheltered them from predators, brought water to their lips, and guided them through long migratory journeys. Beginning with primal empathy, prehistoric humans used human solidarity as their first shield against the severity of disease. Yet kindness alone was not enough. They needed practical measures to soothe the pain. In the role of primitive healers, shamans or elder tribe members rich in experience, the search for remedies began with nature itself. Through thousands of years of observing animals and experimenting at the risk of their own lives, prehistoric humans built a remarkably rich herbal pharmacopeia. When a growing tumor caused excruciating pain, prehistoric humans sought out plants with analgesic and anti-inflammatory properties. They crushed willow bark, containing salicin, the precursor to modern aspirin, to brew potions that eased fever and inflammation caused by malignant tumors. They used opium poppy sap and wild, intoxicating leaves to induce sleep, granting patients temporary escape from tearing agony. For tumors breaking through the skin's surface, causing ulcers and infections, Prehistoric people applied herbal poultices. They combined mineral clay with antibacterial herbs like wild tea leaves, tannin-rich tree bark, or cedar resin to bind over wounds. Tree resin isolated the ulcers from environmental bacteria while staunching bleeding and soothing damaged skin. Archaeological studies on the dental calculus of Neanderthal skeletons at El Cedrón Cave in Spain revealed traces of slippery elm bark, chamomile, and yarrow, plants with no nutritional value, but possessing powerful healing and pain-relieving qualities. This proves prehistoric humans did not eat them for sustenance. They were actively self-medicating. Parallel to herbal medicine were astonishing surgical attempts. In the prehistoric world, when an abnormal lump raised above the body's surface or formed beneath the skin, primitive healers bravely used flint or obsidian blades, tools with sharpness surpassing even modern steel scalpels, to make incisions and excise the growth. They used glowing fire or heated stones to cauterize wounds, an ancient form of thermal cautery that instantly stopped bleeding while inadvertently destroying residual cancer cells around the margins of the cut. Beyond that, trepanation, the technique of drilling into the skull, stands as one of the most shocking testimonies to prehistoric medicine. Across the globe, from caves in Europe and North America to the Andes Mountains, archaeologists have uncovered numerous Stone Age skulls featuring meticulously carved round or square holes. Initially, scientists believed this was a spiritual ritual to release demons from the head. However, deeper analysis revealed that many of these skulls belonged to individuals with metastatic brain cancer or brain tumors causing unbearable intracranial pressure. Drilling a hole in the cranium relieved that pressure, granting patients relief from agonizing headaches and blindness caused by nerve compression. Even more surprisingly, bone healing around the rim of the holes indicates that many patients actually survived those crude yet bold neurosurgeries. However, in the worldview of prehistoric humans, the boundary between the physical and the spiritual was never severed. Cancer, with its silent, gnawing nature destroying the body from within without an obvious cause like a blade cut, was attributed to supernatural forces. They believed the afflicted had been cursed, punished by the gods, or possessed by evil spirits. Thus, their fight against cancer was always intertwined with mystical spiritual rituals. Beside the night fire, the shaman would don animal pelts, adorn themselves with necklaces of fierce tiger or bear fangs, and begin spellbinding dances to the rhythmic thrum of drums. They burned herbal smoke from sage and cedar resin to purify the air around the sick. The chants and calls to the gods echoing through the dark night were not mere blind belief. From a modern medical perspective, these rituals provided a vital psychological therapy, easing the patient's profound fear, activating the placebo effect, prompting the brain to release endorphins, the body's natural painkillers, and boosting the immune system to fight the disease. Yet, we must also face an objective reality. Did prehistoric humans ever truly cure cancer? Modern science offers a candid answer. No. Even with the advanced medicine of the 21st century, cancer remains a daunting challenge. What prehistoric humans achieved was not the total eradication of cancer cells, but a resolute battle for survival to prolong life and ease suffering. They fought with everything they possessed, from community altruism and keen observation of herbal properties to the daring edge of obsidian blades and the spiritual strength of sacred beliefs. Scientists once posed an intriguing question. Why are fossil traces of prehistoric cancer relatively rare compared to the disease's explosion today? The first reason is lifespan. Cancer is fundamentally a disease of accumulated genetic mutations over time. In prehistoric times, most humans died young from infections, predator attacks, trauma, childbirth, or starvation before reaching the age where cells age and cancer surges most aggressively. The second reason is time's decay. Cancer primarily attacks soft tissues, like the liver, lungs, breasts, and intestines, which rapidly decompose after death, leaving no trace in the fossil record. We can only detect cancer in prehistoric humans when it invades or originates in the bones. Even so, those rare surviving bones stand as priceless witnesses. They tell us that hundreds of thousands of years ago, beneath the cold ceilings of ancient caves, human beings writhed in pain from malignant bone tumors. Yet beside them stood not cold rejection, but warm, caring hands. Someone stayed awake through the night to apply crushed herbal leaves to their wounds. Someone patiently fed them water and pre-chewed soft meat. Someone beat a drum and sang to dispel the dark fear enveloping the patient's mind. When we stand in modern hospitals today, surrounded by the bleeping of vital monitors, under the bright fluorescent lights of operating rooms, or before particle accelerators used for radiation therapy, we seem to exist in a completely different world. Yet, the thread binding us to those prehistoric humans in their caves has never snapped. The essence of the struggle has not changed. It remains a life and death struggle between human vital force and a 1,000-year flaw in genetic code. The obsidian blade of the ancient hunter and the laser scalpel of today's surgeon stem from the exact same drive: the longing to wrest life from the hands of fate. The bitter herbal broth brewed from forest bark millennia ago and today's sophisticated, targeted therapies share a single purpose: to soothe pain and push back the ruthless invasion of mutated cells. Prehistoric humans fought cancer with all the raw yet proud spirit of humanity's dawn. They lacked microscopes to see the enemy and genetic maps to understand the cause, but they possessed a fierce instinct for survival and a sacred capacity for compassion. It is through that resilience, through trials, errors, and accumulated wisdom across thousands of generations, that the flame of life was passed down, so that today we may continue the journey our ancestors carved out from the darkness of ancient caves. Cancer may be a cruel part of nature, but the unyielding spirit to defy it, from prehistoric times into the endless future, is what truly defines humanity.